A U.S. Navy warship overnight has shot down 3 missiles believed to be targeting Israel. Those missiles were fired by the Iran-backed Houthi rebels out of Yemen. They've hijacked the government there, essentially. Iran has repeatedly warned Israel could face more and more deadly attacks over the coming days. The Pentagon is laser focused on trying to deter Iran from entering this conflict on the ground directly. So we're going to bring in Colonel Daniel Davis. He joins us now. Colonel, so the U.S. shot down these missiles believed to be targeting Israel by Houthi rebels in Yemen. How significant is that?
Well, it's significant because if they were fired at all, that means that they have the capacity to fire. Those were cruise missiles with about 2,000 miles of range on them, and they were shot down. We don't know for sure where they were going, but it was possible that they could have been going into targets in Israel. So it's good that we shot those down, because the last thing we need is for this war to expand. And I think that's one of the biggest issues. The biggest thing that the administration has is to make sure this stays contained in Gaza and does not expand out where it could potentially cause America to have to go to war. And that's what we need to focus on.
Well, and we've talked a lot about, to the north, too, Hezbollah and the incursions that are getting involved now with Lebanon, and that is a completely different beast, equipped in a different way. That's another front that Israel or the rest of the freedom-loving world doesn't need to see open either.
Absolutely. That probably is the key to whether this thing expands or not, is does Hezbollah come in? They have said that their plan is to engage a new northern front against Israel if Israel goes into Gaza. So they have to know that if they go into Gaza, they need to be prepared for a second front. And we have actually the former Hamas leader on Al Arabiya yesterday, television, saying we want Hezbollah to come in on our case. We want Iran to come in further. They're actually pleading to this axis of resistance, which is all over the Middle East, to join the fight. They want to expand it. We want to keep it contained.
If you look back over the last few days, Colonel, you've seen U.S. military assets directly attacked in Iraq, in Syria. You've seen protesters assault U.S. embassies and consulates around the Middle East. It would appear that to citizens of the Middle East, the U.S. is just as much part of the public-facing, as much public-facing in this war as Israel is. How do you move forward?
Yeah, well, Jillian, I've been saying on Fox News for years that our troops in Syria and Iraq do nothing for American national security, but it keeps them a target of opportunity for these violent groups. And now then you're seeing the potential risks that America faces, because so far we've been lucky. None of these drones or these attacks have killed Americans. But the minute that one of them does and they tie it back to Iran, then we have the potential for escalating, that we have to respond to Americans killed, because we can't turn a blind eye to Americans getting killed, but we don't need them sitting there just sitting in the desert wondering if they're going to get killed next time. And that is a big potential for expanding this war that we have to be careful about.
Well, and to the point of 30 Americans we already know killed in what happened with Hamas October 7th and beyond that, how do we respond to that? Because we actually do, some people would argue we're at war with these groups too, because they're American lives, not to mention those that are still missing and potentially hostages.
It's true. But what we have to do is we have to protect Americans that have been killed yet. And we need to make sure that that doesn't go any further. We need to deter Iran, because even our own intelligence, Israeli intelligence, has said they don't see any direct planning by Iran for this. So we don't want to attack Iran that could start a war. But we have to, as Secretary Pompeo said, he and I disagree on a number of things, but I sure agree with what he just said a minute ago, that we need to deter Iran and not to actually go to war with them, because that would be catastrophic for our interest. We do not need that. Israel doesn't need that.
And then you have 2 nuclear powers fighting a ground war, which sounds incredibly dangerous.
Sounds incredibly World War III-ish that none of us want to go to.
You don't need to go there.
Colonel, thank you. We appreciate your time and for your service, too.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate that.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.